So I've been doing game development for around 6 months now. And there's this pattern of me starting a new game, working on it for a few weeks, and then just giving up, or just losing interest. So I wanted to make a full game that I'll stick with for a while. So I decided to make this devlog. So I opened up a new project in Unity, and for the script, I just used something from a previous game that I made. And I've never really used the terrain tools, so I just messed around with them and made something. It's not that good, but it's alright, and I can always change it later. Then I just added some materials. Then, because of the theme of this game, I decided to go third person instead. I thought that would just fit the game better. I tried making a script. Yeah, I can barely code, so I just gave up after a few minutes and found something online. I did the same for the camera script, and I hooked up the Cinemachine, and I got it to work, and I think it works pretty well. So now I need to add details to the map, so I started with trees, but using the tree tool and terrain tools, it was too packed, so I actually had to place the trees separately. The map isn't that big though, so it didn't take that long. Then I added grass, so the map is mostly finished, and I think it looks really good. Now I need to replace the player, and I've never used Blender before, so hopefully this goes well. I spent a few days 3D modeling a player, adding the armature, and adding the animations. Well, it didn't even work, and I spent way too much time on it, so I just found something on the asset store instead. Then I added in the animations, and it actually works pretty smoothly. This only took me like an hour to do, and the other player I was working on took me like a week, so I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. And also, if he looks naked, it's because he's wearing tan shorts. Now I need to 3D model some weapons in Blender. I'm still not very good with Blender, but this is going to be the sword that he starts out with, and as I upgrade my weapons, you see they just slowly get better. I think it looks pretty good. This is going to be the final upgrade to the sword. I think this one looks pretty good. I'm kind of going for like a low poly style. This is going to be the weapons for the enemy. I might like switch them out depending on how powerful the enemies are. Then I made that cool axe and this thing. I forgot what it's called. I made the main menu. We have game. I haven't really thought of a name yet. You can comment one if you have an idea. As for the menu, it's not that good, so I'll probably change it in the future. I also made a pause menu. Sorry about that, don't know what happened there. Speaking of the settings, I haven't done that yet, but I can work on it later. Next, I need to add my weapon. I'm using the weapon I made Blender. I added it to my player, added the animation, and it works pretty well. Then I needed an enemy for my game. I didn't want to use Blender again, so I just found something on the asset store. Then I added a script to the skeleton that makes him chase me when I get close to him, and if I get too close to him, he'll attack me. Next, I added the combat system, but as you can see, it doesn't work so well. So I needed to fix that, but first, I decided to make a health bar because I didn't feel like fixing the problem. Okay, anyways, so the problem with the combat system is this is the hitbox right here for the sword, and when I swing, it enables the hitbox, and as you can see, it's already touching the skeleton, so when I go to swing, it immediately plays the animation. So I added an animation event so that when I do swing, when it gets to this point in the animation, it enables the combat script. Another problem I had is that the hitbox would actually completely miss the skeleton, so that's why some of the hits weren't even registering. After I made those changes, I went and hit play, and now the combat is actually feeling pretty smooth. You can also see I added some blood particles. They don't work that well, like they only work sometimes, but I think they kind of add a nice detail. Then I tried adding the death animation, but it does not work at all. It's just multiple things are going on that aren't supposed to happen. Then I added the game over screen, and then I started to work on a few of the problems that were happening each time I died. So I fixed the spinning whenever I died, so now I can't move, and I added a delay, so when I do die, it's a few seconds before the game over screen pops up. Then what I actually decided to do was make the enemies despawn whenever I die. I couldn't figure out how to make the enemies just like freeze or just go into their idle animation, but that works. And now it all works pretty well. And that's just the basics of the game. Next, I'll probably add some more content to the game. So this is basically all that I accomplished during this video. So thanks for watching, and I'll end it here.